Let me know.
We are live. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I am doing good. I'm stoked about today because we are week 9, I believe, in the Creators Challenge. Um, shouldn't even call it a challenge. Anyone that's creating product, you got to know that you got to stay in motion. Challenging part is staying in motion. That's where the challenging part is. So always showing up, moving forward. What's the next thing I got to do? We're going to talk about that today. And also some of the things that you may want to not do. I know that we're guilty of it too. And we'll also go over that as well. One moment. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. All righty. So welcome, Dee. I know we've got a lot of things that we're coming up. I want to talk about some of the stuff too that's part of being a product creator, and something that's coming up this September as well. But first of all, how are things going with you?
Buddy, doing good, man. Just got the Fourth of July holiday behind us, and had a bunch of family in and stuff like that. So it's been a revolving door here for a week or so. So it's
Yeah,
good, you know.
same. It's funny because I don't celebrate it like I used to. I'm super patriotic, and it's not that. For me, it's all about the family now. We don't really do the fireworks thing anymore now that my kids are grown.
Right.
Um, And but anyways, let's jump right into today. I want to show some things as well, because today we have never lived in an environment that is so easy, sometimes so hard, but we'll talk about that. But it is so easy to be a product creator today. It is so easy to work your own thing today. It is so easy, but so hard to be an entrepreneur today. It
Right.
truly is. The walls have been come down for years on certain things, and there's so many different ways of becoming an entrepreneur. But I think the best way, especially for somebody that's a solopreneur, is um, being a product creator.
Right.
So that being said, we're going to jump right into that. I know you're a product creator as well. We're doing stuff together as well as partners. And but let me ask you this: with your journey of being a product creator, yours is like product service creator.
Well, it depends on what side of the coin we're talking about, because obviously we got the stuff with you, then I got this, and then I got the loud on the other side. So
Exactly. Well, let's talk about loud, and we'll talk about some of the stuff that we're doing,
yeah.
and some of the fallacies. Like we don't always get it right, so we're going to talk about that as well. But just real quickly, explain your journey. Why loud? What did it look like when you started? It's service based, but it's also product based. If you can bring us through that journey, I think that would be great.
Yeah, no, no, for sure. I mean, for me, like, obviously, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but I worked in the coal industry before I started Loud.
Yeah.
I went out of school, environmental consultant. Traveled a lot. Then I got a job with a coal company doing water sampling, trucking, logistics, that kind of stuff. And then, like, obviously when the Obama got in office, coal kind of changed in the country.
Yes.
We couldn't get permits anymore. So like at 4042, it was time to reboot, start over. I was down in West Virginia at the time, and if I wanted to start over, I wanted to start over up here. I was always passionate about snowmobiling and power sports, and
Why here though? Explain that.
well, this is the closest place that had great snowmobile trails that I could still
Okay.
get home relatively easy. It's just right down 80, down 79, and I'm back home. So it was close, but it wasn't home. But
Okay.
it's similar to home. I really do like the Four Seasons.
Right.
I love the snow. The snow's better up here, So it just kind of, you know, more, where I was growing up, it was changing a lot. So I didn't really want to be around there anymore.
Exactly.
But starting over up here at 40, was definitely different. So we started out with the power sports. Realized real quick that the first year we were open for business, I think the snowmobile trails were open 7 days. It was
Wow.
a crappy winter. We had a bunch of snowmobile product in the store, okay, well, summer will be better. Well, there's no places to ride ATVs and power sports up here in the summertime either. There's just no
Do you
trails.
think that could ever change or no?
I don't think it's going to change.
But there is a solution for it, but it's just not going to change.
Well, yeah, there is a solution for it, and you see the solutions working in other areas, but it's just a different mindset up here.
Okay.
People are just different, and it's not a bad thing.
Right.
What we're doing with the greenways and that kind of stuff up here, is incredible, and it's just not a power sports area because no one's ever grew up with them or had them up here, so it's it's not ingrained,
right?
Up here as it is down south.
Gotcha.
Plus obviously you got a lot more areas down there, a lot more woods and a lot more area to ride them.
Right.
It's a lot less densely populated down there.
Okay, gotcha.
So that summer we realized real fast we had to get into mountain bikes. So the summer of 16, I brought in like 15 mountain bikes.
Wait, though. Back
okay,
up on that because you had a partner that didn't believe in that, though. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude,
nothing against him, but he just it wasn't his thing.
No. Honestly, dude, we got a bunch of crap. Everyone thought I was stupid.
Everybody but who?
But you.
I remember we were at a diner and somebody brought it up that owned this diner, and I'm like, no. And then there was another person with me, and he was actually shocked too. I said, I believe the bikes is the thing. Like, that's the thing. Like, even when I met you, I kept saying, like, why aren't you doing more of this? Like,
right.
Anyway, so I was definitely on that bandwagon with you. Like, I knew that was your product.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like we that first year we moved to 15, and like, if you don't know me, I used to work in a mountain bike shop. I worked in a couple of mountain bike shops in West Virginia. I worked in one in Colorado, raced downhill mountain bikes for years, a lifetime ago. You know what I mean? The mountain bikes led me to power sports.
Okay.
So I was into power sports, but my first true love was mountain bikes, and it's kind of like coming full circle. So when we actually did it, that first year, I was like, dude, this is it. And like you said, I had a partner at the time that was very power sports based and not, and just, you know what I mean? It was very power sports based and not mountain bike based, and just didn't think it was going to be a great idea. Then that also, you had all the naysayers that thought it was a terrible idea, but
you kept going. What made you, what gave you that drive to keep going? Because it is a voice that's going to be in your head.
It is. I just knew it would work up here. I knew what we could do, and I could see it, and I could see like the community changing, and there's a lot of potential up here, and it just was untapped, so we had to figure out how to harness it.
Exactly.
Now, I mean, we haven't touched the power sports piece of equipment in probably almost 5 years.
Wow.
Okay. And we're all bikes, and we're all mountain bikes.
Plus, you guys put in how many trails?
Oh, we got the trails up back. We're so involved with the community now, and it's cool driving around here and seeing bikes on the back of cars everywhere. Right. Like, I love it. When I first came up here, you never saw that.
Isn't that something?
Right.
Do you sell the racks?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you sell everything bikes as well. Now, for those that are jumping on, please say hi if you have a question. Today, we're talking about being a product creator, and it comes in many forms. So we're going to talk about that. Right now, we're spotlighting D because D's got a physical business. I always talk about the wider the ripple, the more successful you can become, and we'll touch on that. But you started out brick and mortar and really started branching out online.
Right.
And how's that going? Is that starting to?
It's starting to,
Okay.
It's getting there.
Awesome.
Right. It's not where we want it to be yet, but whatever is.
Exactly.
But we're definitely getting there with it. But yeah, and it's honestly been full circle for me, and I've super enjoyed it. Awesome. Obviously,
have you guys created your own? Like, there was an attorney friend of mine. He did a lot of our acquisitions and stuff like that. And but he was a product creator too, but they never got it past. We were going to do the marketing for it. I probably can say it because now they're past their copyright or trademark rather, I think. But it was the flatback was the name of the product. But the cheetah post was the product actually. So it was the seat that they can on the fly riding the bike, mainly for flat road. This was mainly, don't know if it would work for trail bikes. You're the expert, I'm not, but here was the deal. On the fly, they can move this bike seat up and down and move while they're going. Now, subsequently, since then, this was in 2010, I believe. I sat in the meeting for this product. My middle son was a model because I saw it as being a product for spinners, for spin bikes.
Right.
And spin bikes were becoming a thing, but there was this one guy. This is why I'm thinking about you right now. There's this one naysayer that said, "Oh, spinning is done." And I'm like, what? Like, it's becoming a hot thing. Like, that was so wrong. He was so wrong. So you got to be careful who says, and then it gets to be like a worm in your head that's going to kill your dream because of one person or two or three or four or five that they have the wrong info.
Well, that's just it. There's always going to be naysayers.
Yeah.
Always. It's what do you believe? And how hard are you willing to work to get it? You
gotta have the passion for it.
Right. And put your head down, man, and plow,
Yeah.
It's never easy.
We can have a bad idea. So you already vetted it. You already knew that it was a good idea. You had already a lot of people raising their hands saying, yeah, I want to do this.
Right.
So you already knew. So when you were getting the naysayers,
well,
it was
exactly.
easy for you.
But also like that first year with 15 bikes, I tested the market.
Nice.
Which is exactly what I did. And when I moved them all, and I got them like late July. It wasn't like I had them at the beginning of the year. Exactly. Got them in late July. And September, they were gone.
Wow.
And that wasn't even our clientele.
Wow.
So I knew I knew I was onto something.
Do you agree though? Like, I know with even the stuff that you and I do, Linkboard changed in a really big way, which we're going to really down the road here, really show what it can help people with, especially product creators. But here's the deal. Have you noticed that it morphed, like your product morphed into what it's supposed to be?
And we're still not there yet,
Exactly.
But I mean, everything evolves, if you don't evolve, you're dead.
Right.
So no, you gotta, kind of roll with the punches and see what's happening and go with it. I mean, like this, for example, real quick, when e-bikes first came out, we got three electric bikes. I basically had to give them away.
Oh, that's right. Cause you can't ride them.
Now it's like this year, we've sold more electric bikes this year than we have in the last 5 years.
Oh, yes. Cause now it's a thing.
Right. And people have caught on and people will see it, it just, sometimes it takes time for the market to react to what you think is going to happen. It's not always when you think it's going to happen.
Exactly. That's why I wish the here locally. So I don't care where anybody's from. You can make a change in your area. D, I applaud you because you made a huge. And when I say you, it's you and everyone else that's involved.
It's a team. It's a community. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But it starts with somebody with the blowhorn, right? Like getting the message out. And I think you had a lot to do with helping that. But here locally, a long time ago, the past mayor that we had, which I liked him, because he was a forward thinking guy. I feel, even though I'm a Republican naturally Democrat, but he still loved business. But at the end of the day, I remember telling him, like, go to Niagara on the Lake, go to, at the time, there's some problems now, but go to certain parts of Carolina, go to certain parts of Florida. California used to get it. They don't now, but anyways, go to these other places that get it and they're flourishing because, like, for instance, if you go to Austin, you can find these e-bikes everywhere. You put a credit card in and you can ride opposed to getting an Uber or a cab. You know what I mean? And it's lucrative for that whoever's that business is for. very lucrative, but yet they won't allow them down in our downtown.
Right.
Like, we got to start thinking beyond,
Well, well, exactly. And and there's an old guard and there's a new guard, and
yes,
like our area up here, we better get on board on the ecotourism bandwagon.
without a doubt.
I mean, you always hear manufacturing plants closing, this kind of, what I mean? This kind of stuff happening. More of those jobs are getting taken away, where this is creating jobs.
Exactly.
And it's bringing people in the area. And look how many people are buying second homes up here because the amount of things they can do.
Yes.
And I believe me, I wish we could keep all the manufacturing. I wish we could keep all the jobs and plus add ecotourism.
Yes.
But
in fact, I would love to spotlight some manufacturers here in the United States that people don't know about.
Right.
So right now, and we'll get into this. I'm jumping ahead a little bit. But
yeah, you're good.
Being a product creator, like for you, for instance, let's go back to the Cheetah Post. That would have been a great product for you guys. Like, have you ever thought of like, okay, I'm in the bike business, I'm in this. Have you ever come up with an idea like, hey, this is a better, like for instance, my grill. I love the pellet stove. I didn't think I was going to like it. Love it. But here's the problem. Whoever gave us a like, thank you. Good morning, Bert. Good morning. Welcome to this session. But listen, I'm looking at my grill, dude, and there's so many flaws to it, though. And we're going to talk about product creation, different levels. You have product creation where you're actually creating the product, meaning you have a passion, stuff like that, and you're creating a product that's new to the market, solving a problem. But then you have products that's on a product, meaning making this better or making a grill better, add-ons.
Right.
There is an industry right now that, without licensing, by the way, from my understanding, if you have the dimensions, and as long as you say will fit, models number, whatever, you're not saying that you are iPhone, that you don't need a licensing. Vet it before you take my advice on this, because I don't know if it's 100% true, but I heard that you can make covers for, or what are these called?
Like protective covers for this phone?
Yeah, protective covers for the iPhone, for the Samsung, for whatever. There's a company out there, all they're waiting for is the next product to come out. They make the cover for it. How brilliant is that?
Right.
And today you could print them. Like, you could print those. Like, you know what I mean?
No.
I think the new factory today, and I would love to talk about that on another session.
No,
go ahead.
I would say that's a fascinating topic. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to talk about it on like, I have a story I would share too. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
We don't have agenda. We're moving in the direction that what you and I do, meaning we want anyone that's part of the challenge. It's just in time learning, man. You just got to stay. Like right now, there was some advertising issues, right? So we fixed that. Like there's such a change in the marketplace, especially for digital creators. We're a digital creator as well. There's such a change. Guess what? Just stay in motion and figure it out and do it. And then we report on it of what's working, what's not working. That's part of the deal. So let's go into, because I'd love to wrap up at 9:30. I believe that even with your industry, so you're getting, what I believe with you, D, you have this small ripple to start, which is brick and mortar.
Right.
You're expanding out locally, even by going to Ellicottville.
Yeah.
You're expanding out. You guys created a culture and a movement that I believe that can expand right on with, and I'm sure you have it, but groups that of like-minded people coming together that also share different ideas that maybe you guys don't even know, but somebody's got to stick the flag in the sand and say, you know what, I can improve this or that or this or that. Like, for instance, now it was long ago that my wife and I had a bike rack, and creators, sometimes being a creator is also a curse, because there's some people that have no ideas, and then there's people like us that have too many ideas. Like, you got to know.
Well, it's funny because you got to be a forecaster and quick as got to move on the same person.
100%. And you got to love the journey. Many people, I've got a client right now that was like a coaching client that's like, oh, there's this person that's doing. I'm like, so what? Like, there's not one restaurant. There's a plethora of them. There's not one auto dealer. There's like, don't worry about that. What makes you different?
Right.
What makes you different? Maybe it's your teaching style makes you different. Maybe people can learn from you better, or maybe your product's actually a little better. Like, don't worry about that. If it's your passion and you have a way to improve upon something, that's what you want to do. If you have a question for us, feel free to put it in the comment. You may have to allow StreamYard if you want us to bring it across the screen. I'm going to bring up something right now that we're going to be talking about, because realistically, here's the deal with being a product creator. Back in the day, I'm going to show you this. Remember this guy? By the way, this is unopened, just so you know. I'm going to explain why. But this is the No Money Down Carlton Sheets. Okay. Here's the other one. This one is opened. Quick Start. Think about that. Way ahead of his time, but Quick Start. We always talk about just-in-time learning. Get going. You got to get going. You can't wait until you learn it all. You can't wait until the product's beautiful, because if you do, like you said,
it's going to pass you by.
It's going to pass you by. You got to, it's a locomotive today, product creation. Here's what's cool too. Just like being somebody that's dabbling in the stock market, you can't marry a stock. I've seen people lose their ass in that because they just love the stock so much they never were willing to sell it.
Right. Or they're passionate about the company and they're not looking at the number, like, I love what this company stands for, but they're not looking at the numbers, Yeah.
And I do, like, I love certain companies. Right now I invest in the stuff that we're doing, but here's the deal. Carlton Sheets, back in the day, for him to create this info product, I don't know if I'm allowed. Yeah, I'm sure I can. There's a reason why I did the one in the cellophane. But there's, I flipped 17 properties because of this man.
Huh.
And now I could have kept going. At the time, that's what I wanted to do. Right. I mean, when I was in school, I wanted to be an architect. First, I wanted to be whatever it's called, an undertaker. And my guidance counselor is like, no, you don't want to do that. Now, she shouldn't have done that, but I'm glad she did, though, because today I would hate to be doing that. Right. But this, for him to make this product, folks, and I'm going to get there about being a digital creator. Oh, how funny. The thing came underneath the delegate. It cost $100,000 to rent the facility to shoot an infomercial and the company to air you. Minimum. It was minimum $100,000. I think Dean Graziosi, he was another one in this space. He created a product that was a few $100,000. And then I'm going to tell you a quick story about Dean, what he did after this huge, elaborate, cameras and lighting and this and this and this and this, what he did. I'm going to come back to that, but a minimum. Then he had to find this company that packaged this shrink. Then there's the shrink wrap company, right? And then there's the fulfillment company. It was hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, how much do you think you need to create this same product? Now, I'm not saying ripping this guy off. I'm talking about you have the same knowledge. Let's pretend you know how to flip properties or buy properties, make money with properties. There's a better way to do it today, but let's say you did it. What do you think it would cost you today to get the product at least done and ready for marketing? Because marketing has changed.
Right.
So instead of being an infomercial on TV, there's a better way today. That was a harder way. What do you think it would cost you to do that? And I right now, folks, like, you need to pay attention.
$3 to $5 grand, and maybe less depending on how you do it.
Say it again. I'm sorry. I saw a comment. What was that? Sorry.
$3 to $5 grand, maybe less depending on how you do it.
I would say less, but you're right. It's not hundreds of thousands of dollars today.
Right.
It's not hundreds of thousands. You could create a product. Listen,
you can do it with this by yourself.
Yes.
Sponsor an ad and do it for as little as $20.
I'm not going to go grab it, but I've got a camera that's about $5,000. Okay.
Right.
In total, all the equipment stuff. This film's just as nice now. It used to be that was the thing, right? Like you got to have at least a DSL LR, and now the iPhone, even the Samsung. If you have a modern, up-to-date smartphone, you have the technology to shoot even in 4K. Right now, I think we're 1080p right now, which is totally fine. Today, you could use StreamYard. Today, you could use Zoom and create a product.
Right.
Let's be honest. And when if you want to go deeper with that, we can help you with that. Okay, so you must solve a problem, right? We have a physical product that's coming out. I just don't want to make this in China. We're going to talk about that. Mark it down that we're going to talk about manufacturing in the United States. I would love to create a movement in that. Create a movement. We need Making America Great wasn't about, it makes me so sick that, not to talk politics, but I sided with I used to be a Democrat, so I side with the Republicans right now. I'm a company owner. I'm a product creator. I own a few companies, and guess what? I believe in capitalism. That's what made America great. That's what our founding I posted a several star general. I don't know what World War II veteran. He's 100 years old. You got to watch the video. It's sad. Like, he's watching our country just go to heck. We need to. Now, listen, did I love our past president? Like, everything he said? No, we all hated, we always despise certain things, but there were certain things that were good. We got to look at what's good and in people and run with it. We got to get back to being about America, joining forces, locking arms, helping one another. No racism. Just because, are you a Republican or a conservative? Like, what would you consider yourself?
I'd consider myself a Republican.
Yeah, I'm kind of like independent, right?
Well, I was independent. The New York State said I couldn't be independent anymore.
Exactly. There's another thing.
Right.
Okay, so it's either you don't have a president today, way back when it used to work. It's either a Republican or a Democrat that wins the office. So you just go with what is in alignment with your belief system. That's all. That's right. But to say that I'm a racist because I'm a Republican is sickening. You're not a racist. I'm not a racist. Like, it's
no. That's the whole thing. Like, I want to pick the best candidate. I don't care what party it is. The best candidate that shares my beliefs, that does the best job.
Right. You know what I mean? And
I don't care who it is. This as long as they,
I voted for Obama, and I was technically, I just did not the second time, but the first time, because anyways, we're not talking about politics right now.
Right.
All I want to talk about is America used to be the leader in product creation, the leader in technology, the leader in inventions, the leader in all of this. We're losing it, folks. So join the forces with us. Like, listen, if you have knowledge, we have a way today to get that knowledge to the world. We have the way today to make change, right? We have the way today to create these products. Let's see. I'm going to bring this across. Can you read it? I can't see it. Okay. There are too many absolutes in politics. If people align themselves on one side and stay there, it's dangerous. Yes, absolutely. Listen, you can't just be one thing. Like, right. Come on, folks. We got to lock arms, join forces. Like, I wish I could just be that. Well, like right now, there's so much hate from one side, and then both sides are catching the cold that it's sickening. We got to come together and say, you know what? Enough's enough. Enough's enough. I don't hate anybody. The only reason, anyways, going back to this, yeah, you're absolutely right. We got to align ourselves. We need to understand what made America great. We need to, and if it were me and I was an advisor, which I knew one of the advisors very well, I was in what they call a man cave. We're having cigars and scotch, and he's an advisor to Donald Trump at the time, right? But here's the deal. If I was somebody in that, I would have said, instead of making America great again, let's just make America great and inclusive. Like, people today, I've never seen the opportunity of anybody of color. And I'm going to kibosh something right now. Is that a word, kibosh? I'm going to
Sure.
stomp on something right now. Don't believe it, folks. Don't keep you down. If you're somebody of color, join us. If you need help with a product, we'll help you. Like, we don't care what color you are. Like, the number one entrepreneur today is laughing all the way to the bank. The number one entrepreneur today is what?
I mean, Elon,
Is an immigrant.
right?
Most of your high net worth individuals are an immigrant. Sorry, but it's true. And you have people of color that said, I don't know what racism is. Like they're not seeing what's being fed to them. If somebody's of color and has experienced racism, I get it. It's wrong. It's not good, but please do not let that hold you back. If you're somebody of color, just like you have naysayers, there's naysayers out there, folks. There's people that don't like me because I have a goatee. Like, there's people that don't like you if you have long hair, like I had long hair. Like, there's always going to be naysayers out there. Don't let that hold you back. If you have a great idea, if you have a vision, if you're an inventor, if you're a product creator, and it's in your head, you got to get it out. Don't let anybody give you limited belief system. Don't believe in it. Today is the best time ever. And if you don't believe me, just go to events that we go to, like, and you're going to see people of all color, of all races, of all women, men, like all coming together doing great things. So don't believe in it. Right now you have a lot of hate going on. And I think in a weird way, not to be, but I almost think they want people to think small. Like, I hate to say it, but we got to get back to where we're not doing overseas. I want an American made company. This is a smart cube. I own timercube.com. I had to pay some money for that. Like, because I have a better way that thing works that's coming inside Linkboard. That's going to really manage people in a better way. Like, that's what we're talking about. Be a product creator. Don't worry about your race. Don't worry about if you're male or female. Don't worry about anything. Just get going. You got to get going to be a product creator. Okay. You must solve a problem. Once we get that outside, it doesn't matter who you are. Everyone's included here. You got to keep it simple. Now, some things are complicated. Whoever invented this, obviously, right? You and I with Embed Locker, well, especially before you, I had some issues with Embed Locker, but we solved the problem. We figured it out.
Right. And you know, and the thing is, like, don't see the forest, see the next step, see the next tree. You know what I mean? Lay out your path, but don't keep always looking up. You know what I mean? Like, just take the next step and you're going to keep it simple.
I had somebody just recently that says, by the way, 2 million followers. Kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
So, folks, if you have a big following, multimillionaire, like, and I don't mean it to be about money, okay? But seriously, it's the truth, okay? Tim Ferriss, if he comes out with the next book, do you think it's going to be a New York Times bestseller?
I'm sure.
It is, because he's got a huge following.
Right.
Gary Vaynerchuk, it's going to be a huge following, or he's got a huge following. All they have to do is create anything, and his raging fans are going to buy it. For you, if you invent something. So I know you probably got some ideas. I know my wife and I had for the bike thing, we had a bike rack, and fastening to the vehicle was just a nightmare. They probably solved it since then. This has been a while. But we had an idea. My grill, same thing, an idea. Some ideas will take you a little longer. Digital ideas are a lot faster. So keep it simple. Tim, I've got a SaaS idea. That's software as a service. Facebook, software as a service. StreamYard, software as a service. If anyone goes on to Hulu, software as a service. Netflix, you get it, okay?
Right.
If you have a software idea, keep it simple. All you have to do is flesh it out. You can find the company. You can find the people that's going to build it for you.
Right.
I can't create what made Embed Locker work. We had to find that person.
Person.
Does that
Right.
make sense? Or persons. So don't worry about it. Keep it simple. So the very first thing I want all of you to do when you're creating a product, if you're creating a digital product like a course, that's the best thing you could do right now. If you have knowledge, I would say start there. If you have no knowledge and you still don't know what product to do, be an affiliate marketer.
No, that's right. You know,
You can be a multimillionaire selling other people's stuff.
well, that's
Not
just,
to talk money once again, but I just got to let you know that that's how it works.
no, that's right. That's exactly right. I mean, you know, if you're a dealer for a product or something like that, you're an affiliate marketer, you know,
Exactly.
you know, and it's nice, like getting going, selling someone else's product. You're learning the most important part of the process before you dive into developing your own product. You know, you
Yes.
learn how to sell, you learn how to move, you learn how to market, you're learning.
But
to
you
do all
don't
that.
learn it all at once. You
No.
first do this, then you learn strategies as
Oh,
you're getting the product to the marketplace.
That's right.
When do you learn marketing? Do you learn it
Every
the
day.
day that you're thinking of your product?
No.
You do not, folks. You don't. Trust me, we made this mistake. Like, I mean, if you saw my library that could fill up 4 rooms, and even my wife constantly reminding me sometimes I got to be present when, family's there, because I'm always learning. Like it's almost a sickness. It's why, because I know the things that I got to do. Even this prototype. Let me tell you about a prototype. Casey Neistat. Nobody knew him. I didn't know him. I didn't know him in 2016. I knew him very well in 2017. How did he become known? He started doing some crazy stuff on YouTube, right? So he was a creator, a content creator. Content creators can become product owners. Content creators can make money even with their content. There are
Right.
people that are on YouTube that are making over $1 million a year on YouTube, like Mr. Beast. Yes, I'm saying that right. Mr. Beast. I don't like anything that he does, but it resonates for the people that follow him. He makes multi-millions with YouTube. And there's a lot of those that do. That being said, Casey created a product called Beam. And I'm like, what is it? What is it? What is it? He had raging fans. So he goes, hey, everybody. Finally, he announces that he's going to create this company, SaaS company, software as a service, tech company. And he goes, my first product is Beam. And he mentions Beam and what it is. And all it was is you can't filter yourself. What you see is what you can't trim, you can't edit. Well, then Facebook came up with Facebook Live. So it's kind of like, and I already saw things on the wall like, wait a minute, it's already there. Okay, but get this. His prototype, folks, it didn't work. Matter of fact, his app wasn't even really an app. All it was what's called a heat map. It was pictures that were clickable that made it look like it was working, but it didn't work. It was a prototype. But get this. CNN saw the traction he was getting with younger folks. CNN is kind of dying as a news organization, and it's a TV platform, right? TV platform is dying. People, and the ones that were getting it, that were laughing at Netflix, laughing at Hulu, are no longer laughing. People were laughing at Amazon, no longer are laughing, right? So they're the ones eating the lunch now. They're the ones dining, right? But here's the thing. When it came down to Beam, we want the product. What did they really want? I think I kind of gave it up, but
Right. I mean,
what did they really want?
They wanted Casey.
Nope. I mean, yes, but they wanted Casey's audience.
Right. Well, exactly.
So they needed Casey to
get
the
his
audience. So
audience.
what they
Right.
did is they offered to buy his product. Well, get this. They purchased his product for $35 million with a contract, meaning some of it was perpetuity, some of it was cash up front. But then Casey hated, because Casey's now out of his environment. Now he has a boss. Folks, we don't teach how having a boss here. We're teaching you how to get rid of your boss. Okay, so sorry, and listen, if you create an environment, because you are going to have people work for you. You are going to have people work for you. And I believe in teams. I'm nobody's boss. D, you're not a boss.
No.
You have a team.
Right.
Are you a leader? Like, yes, but you always have to have somebody you look up to and help you and get you there. But here's the deal. With us, we're all about, we're about creating small companies to mid-sized companies that ultimately scale to large companies. That's what we're about. We help you scale to a mid-sized company, and then you're going to lose us. You won't need us at that point. And we're going to applaud you. We hope that day happens. Trust me.
Go get them, man.
Yeah. So, and I'm flirting with it now. Do I really want to be there? Like, I like being a small and not even mid-sized. Like, we're ready to be that. And can you do it as a small company? I believe you can. And we're going to test until we can prove that we can. And we'll create digital products, SaaS products, that's going to make it easier for us to do that, because I believe we can do it.
I believe we can do that too.
That being said, you got to keep it simple. Create a prototype. But by God, once you create that prototype, get ready to run. And now you're going to find others and delegate.
Well, yeah. I mean, once you get to the thing is, like, once you have an idea, you got to assume 2-3 other people have the same idea. I mean, at least I do. You got to assume that. So then it's the best to market first.
Yes. The fastest to the market.
Right. The fastest to the market, but it's got to be a good product and a good marketing plan. It does, you know what I mean? So I don't know how you want to phrase that, but like, the best plan and the best product to market first,
And everything comes back to these 4 bullets, folks. Everything.
Right.
Like anywhere you're at in your product creation, where am I? We call it sprints in the digital space. When you're creating software, it's called sprints. I formed a different version of what's called Scrum, not to get into that. But you don't need to know Scrum or Kanban. You don't need to know these things. All you need to know is people that know.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like, I'll tell you one of the best, and we're going to come back real quickly to the Casey thing, and we'll wrap it. Hey, Joe Rogan goes 2 hours.
I know that.
It is what it is. But hey, if you stop by, ask questions, add to what we're talking about, be part of the conversation. But here's the deal. All you need to do is think about Jack Walsh for GE. Jack just like, I didn't get any of it. Like, he saw the big vision, but he didn't know how to do it. So he got the best of the best.
Well, no,
he was really good at finding the right person.
Well, that's just it. That's just it.
If you find somebody, folks, and you want to team up and you want a business partner, be careful. D and I have made these mistakes in the past, and listen, they're mistakes. But if you learn from them, if you keep doing the same thing, then it comes down to being crazy, right? That's the definition. But here's the deal. If you find somebody's exactly like you, that's not a good partner. No. You need somebody that's going to help you. Like, D and I are not exact. We think alike in a lot of things, but D's got his gifts. I have my gifts. We bring the gifts together. And then guess what? We find out what we're not gifted on, and we find those people that that's what you need to do. It's these 4 things. This is it. This is the blueprint. Obviously, it goes deeper, and we'll go deeper, especially next week. But solve a problem. You got to solve a problem. It's got to be something that you're passionate about. You got some people, oh, you can't live your passion. Bull crap. I'm living my passion every day. You're living your passion every day. I can come find and fill a stadium of people that are living their passion as a business.
Right.
And it starts out with your hobby. I got to tell you, like,
it does.
What is it that you love doing? If you love gardening, I'm telling you right now, it's a multi-million-dollar business. Do you believe that, first of all?
No, I 100% do.
You can make over $1 million if you're really good at gardening. What's that? Sorry.
Your side hustle, your passion is going to lead you to your project, your product.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back with these 4 things. Listen.
Well, the thing is, and I got a good story for next week's about a product. So
awesome. Make sure you write it down and don't forget.
No, I won't. Just remember. Yeah.
Here's the deal, folks. If you, like Casey and I said, let's go back to him, and then I'm going to get to the point, and then we're going to end it. So here's the thing. He got his crowd. He got his raging fans. And how did he do that? He sold a a short film that him and his brother put together to HBO for millions. They bought it from him. And then get this, they put a kibosh to it. How stupid. Right. CNN. So then Casey took that million. He thought, okay, I'm going to retire. He got a few mil for it. His brother got it. He got it. Maybe 2 or 3 million each. I think it was 7 million that they split. Well, regardless, now they broke up and went their own ways. And he got bored. He's like, I don't want to retire. So then he decided, you know what? I'm going to blog on YouTube. I'm going to make a vlog. And it blew up. Why? Because he was one of the first to do it. And he made a show that were 5-minute long. Like, it was never a huge video. And he's not the best looking guy. Like, don't worry. Look, I'm not good looking. Don't worry about your looks. Don't worry about, just be okay with who you are. Be passionate about what you're doing and solve problems. So some of the things that Casey was doing that people didn't realize what he was doing. Right. But he was a film creator. So his brand was film creation. Now, guess what he did? He created Beam. He had an audience that signed up, didn't pay $1 for it. But guess what? When you have over 10,000 users, do you think it's worth money?
Oh, yeah.
Zero money yet. Zero. Folks, you don't have to prove that your product's making millions. But if you have users, it's worth money. So you got to think that way, right? So here's the thing. You and I got ripped off. We'll talk about it.
Right.
You're going to get ripped off. Well, how did we get ripped off? Is it going to hurt us long-term? Absolutely not. But we bring a guy on as what we thought was going to be a consultant for something we needed. Click on his ad. We paid. Clicked on his ad. We book a call with him. And the guy started picking our brain about something. And now he launched the same product. It's not the same though, folks. Our product's still better, thank God. Right. And his model's too expensive. So guess what I might do? Dee's not going to love hearing this. I'm flirting with it. I might give the product away. Wouldn't that be a kick to his wallet?
And ours.
I'm not doing it, but I'm just saying. Does that make sense? So, folks, sometimes people, you got to be careful. Have an NDA, which is non-disclosed agreement. Have some contracts, but know this: people are going to rip you off. You just got to know that it's going to be part of the process. Going back to Casey, though, he goes. They said, okay, we're going to buy it for $35 million, and then you got to work for us for a while. It's a contract. He was miserable because he's now got a boss. He's now got to show up. He was showing up late almost every day. He's got to show up. He's Casey, right? Casey does Casey things. He was used to his lifestyle. He finally says, I'm miserable. What can I do to get out of this contract? He has a meeting with them where they're like, yeah, and we don't really like you much either. Hang on. I'm going to bring on Bert. I'm going to answer your question here in a second. So here's the deal. We'll pay you the $25 million. We're going to hold back the 10. He says, done. It's not a bad payday, folks. So now what did Casey do? With that $25 million, get this. Unfortunately, man, it changes things. They moved to California. He stopped vlogging. I believe that, and he was more about his family, which I'm all for, but I believe that Casey kind of lost himself because when he vlogs, you see him come to life, right? So then he comes back and he's like, oh my God, it feels good. Comes back to New York City and you see the life in him. You saw him like you saw it, right? Because he's a creator. He's got to keep creating. Like, there's no reason for us to ever retire unless your body just can't do it anymore. Your mind and your body. But here's the deal. He now created a course on how to create video. Made millions.
Right.
So do you see so you level up. You start with solving a problem. Maybe you create a course. You solve a problem. Maybe you start out with product like this. Like, this is momentum strategies, right? I've got a way that's going to help you. And we give this away. If you want to learn how, just go to it. momentumstrategiesnow.com. We give this away. We give this info out. But here's the deal. There's a book that I'm writing. I'm giving it away. Like, that's what I want to do, is give back. Like, we're being blessed and soon about to be very blessed because of something. And, but here's the deal. Learn to work with your passion on, maybe you can't create a physical product yet. Maybe you can, though. Maybe you can go to dad. Maybe you can go to your mother. Maybe you go to an uncle. Maybe you go to somebody in your circle. Hey, I've got this idea. Maybe you go to Kickstarter. Maybe you go to crowdfunding. There is so many ways today. The hard way is done. It's gone. These people led the path. They're like you, D, that someday there's going to be all these trails and you left your mark, right? These were the trailblazers. They're the ones that did it and made it easier for us, because somebody that was doing it this way is like, there's got to be a better way. And that led us to today. Look at, we're doing StreamYard today. How much would this cost if we would have gone on TV live?
Oh my gosh. You're right. Yeah. Mind blowing.
It's absolutely mind blowing. And it could be used in a good way today. Listen, I'm not a hater, but like, dancing on TikTok's not a thing. Like, don't be that. You can, instead of using that time doing that, maybe you're using that time to create. Okay, let's go to, so the moral of the story with Casey Neistat, products lead into other products. Here's my takeaway on this. It's these 4 things, folks. It always comes back to these 4 things. Solve a problem, keep it simple, create a prototype, put it into product, or put it into motion, find others to delegate. Maybe there's a 5th one, bring it to the market, right? So you got to bring it to the market, obviously, but just in time learning. Don't learn marketing now. Once you physically have the product and the website and your social things all figured out, now it's time to marketing. Now you got to find a marketer that knows, delegate, or do it yourself if you have no money to pay somebody to do it for you. It's that simple.
Right.
It's literally that simple. All right, read Bert's question. Or is it?
I don't think it's a question.
Gotcha.
Yep. This is why I am here, to grow my passion in life and what I love to do. Awesome vibes, gentlemen. A person gets exhausted with building success from other companies and not yourself. You're
absolutely right. You have to remember, folks, and we're going to, like I said, we're going to end it right at 10. That's in 6 minutes. 7. Here's the deal. You got to have that passion that's burning inside you. You're going to have people that's going to say no. Your family might not be on board. That's okay. That's what groups are for. It's sometimes lonely. We live in a world today where I found a video of Mark Barger and I. This is an attorney. Him and I did Debt Talk Radio. And this is way back when it was Blog Talk. It was Blog Talk Radio is what it was. And we had a pretty decent sized audience. And on this one particular video, I mentioned to him, there's going to be a day when people are going to be working from their homes and the boss is going to be okay with it. Mark didn't agree with me. I don't think that's going to happen. I said, it's going to happen. And guess what? Then the barking dogs are going to be a problem. So what's going to happen is you're going to find, just like outdoor kitchens are becoming a thing. Now, this is back in 2009, where outdoor kitchens are going to be a thing. There's going to be a day when there's going to be an office shed in the backyard. And the reason why I thought that is because my wife and I wanted a vacation home. And the first thought was, where's my office going to be? Because this is what we do, right? As entrepreneurs, because I need a place to be, right? To work. Guess what? It's here. But so if you can vision it, it can be a thing, even though it's not yet. Now, I wasn't in that space. Somebody decided, by the way, we're going to bring on a guy that this is what he makes. He's got a huge warehouse and he produces $65,000, $100,000 offices that get set in your backyard. And guess what? They're back ordered. Now that's a huge product, right? Your product can be as complicated as the Tesla. This is what I do in my mind, folks. Where's my product idea? Is it Tesla or is it a digital product like a digital course? Like, for instance, if I was to put it together, how I flip properties, just my know-how. I'm not going to teach you how to be a millionaire doing it because I didn't make $1 million. I mean, we sold over $1 million, but I didn't make $1 million flipping. It was hundreds of thousands, but I reinvested that into the stuff that we have today. But here was the deal. I did that so that I could do that. But if I was to create this product, meaning my knowledge, not ripping this guy off, my knowledge, borrowing some of the things that I learned and giving credit to them. I see people today taking credit for things. I'm like, that was Jim Rohn, but they're making it like one guy said, I came up with this thing. No, you didn't. You got it from Jim Rohn. That being said, don't be that guy, right? But here's the deal. I can create that. I can create this program. No shit. I could create this program on flipping properties. Maybe we should do it just as a test dummy thing.
Yeah,
I could create this product on Saturday. I created Website Creation Pro on a Sunday with my parrot on me. You remember the story. I have a video for the story, which is the program itself. And I made 6 figures off of that program back then. I can create this program on a Saturday, and I would bet you that we could turn that into a 6-figure product on how flipping fast with no money, like none of your own money. If you have to find people to help you fund it, the deal is the money. I kind of gave some of it away, but the deal is the money. Right. So if I explained it and made a program and sold it for $97, who's not going to pay that? Like, you need, okay, so somebody wants to flip properties. They need that information, right? And for $97, that's going to get them from being stuck to unstuck, which, by the way, that program does. That's free. Who's not going to pay $97? So what do you have? Maybe you're a vendor. Maybe you do catering. Maybe you have a food truck business. You could teach that. My bet was you'll probably make more money. Okay, you had something you were going to talk about.
Oh no! You know what? For the next one, we're talking about products.
Okay.
And product stories.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, we're going to do that next Wednesday. And folks, for those of you that are in Link Boss, the group, it's LYNK. Let me bring it up. Be part of it. If you want to learn more, we give way more than we'll have. The only thing that we ask, and you don't even need to do it. If you need a website, go through us, help us. You know, that we give everything away for free. We're going to literally teach you everything we know, and we're going to bring the people that are doing it as well, people that are way higher than we are. I know we have a brand right now that our goal is to hit a certain number. We're not about money. You're never going to see, you might see me drive a Tesla, but I'm not going to be in a Lambo. Those people that people are just gravitating to right now, most of them are broke. They have Lambos, big houses, and they're renting all of it. Be careful of that. The shiny object thing is just horrible. It comes down to these actually 5 things, because you do have to bring it to the market. So solve a problem, keep it simple. Okay. Meaning don't overcomplicate it. Get a prototype. Even if it's a course, you flesh it out. That's a prototype.
Right.
If it's this, you draw it. Okay. Like a product.
Right.
You know, if it's a course, flesh it out. What's the first thing they need to learn? Blah, 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 blah. And then delegate to others if you don't know how to do something. Tim, I don't know how to build a website. Tim, do I even need a website? D, can I actually expand outside of my area? Like that's all you have to do right now is flush it out and then keep going deeper with that until you get your answers. You better know this though, folks, and we'll go deeper with it next week. If you don't know what's out there that's in the same market, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You got to know what's out there. That's 2, you got to know who your competition is. What else is,
right?
You know,
well, you know, and 3, how are you going to be different?
How are you going to be different? And it could be that it's just you and the way you teach.
Exactly.
That's okay.
Exactly. No,
okay.
Yeah, it can just be your personality, but what's your angle?
Yes. And have tough skin.
Right.
You're going to have haters.
You better have tough skin.
Oh, can you imagine being a politician today with social media?
No.
How, you know what? Lastly, one thing we can learn about all of the politics, folks. First of all, let's all come together. I don't hate you because you're a Democrat or whatever. It's so dumb. Like, seriously. And, but we need to all come together and just realize we can't be fed anymore that there's this side or that side. That's number 1. Number 2, here's the thing. Don't be a hater. Like, it's just dumb. Like, if you know what I mean, like, if somebody's got an opinion, let them have it. Like, just be careful. Be part of the conversation, but just don't be a hater. But you're going to get them. It's okay. It's okay. Just let it rub off his shoulder. It was like when we watched the Elvis thing, when Elvis finally got okay with his appearance, he started doing, unfortunately, it's sad that his appearance was due to a health problem. Like, it's sad that, but who cares? Like, just get going. Right. Your vision, your product, your idea is more important. All righty. D, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everybody that showed up. Feel free to reach out to us if you're stuck and you need further direction. Join the group. We're here to help you. I promise we're going to do more and more and more in that group. Participate in the group. Show up, say who you are, where you are in this. We're here to help you out. If you want other people to help you, I've got a client right now that went from 0 to 60 pretty freaking fast. Already her website's ready to debut. She's already has an audience of 2 million people. Like, how cool is that? Her podcast will probably go to #1 in her space in the new and noteworthy as soon as we launch it, which awesome. It should be within 2 weeks. It's just what's going to happen.
That's killer.
Okay. D, thank you, man.
All right, buddy.
All righty. We'll see everybody next week. Peace.